Greetings, fellow Earthlings. My name is Amber, and today we're going to be talking about my newest tattoo. I say newest because it's not my first, it won't be my last. However, it's my first color tattoo, it's the first piece of my leg sleeve, and it's also the first traditional tattoo that I have ever gotten. Traditional tattooing, in my opinion, is a pretty difficult style of tattooing to nail down, and I really wanted to find an artist that could do no wrong in my eyes and could just do my tattoo perfectly. That being said, I did a lot of research specifically on Instagram about different tattoo shops and trying to find a specific artist that specialized in traditional tattooing. So after a few weeks of looking around for different Chicago tattoo artists, I finally found a guy named Bob Hayes that tattoos at Family Tattoo here in Chicago, and I totally fell in love with his work. I looked at the stuff that he had put up, I looked at the stuff he was tagged in, and I was like, amen, he's the one, he's got to do my tattoo, I need to get this done by him. So I made a consultation. I went in with a couple reference pictures and one picture in particular that I wanted him to rework, and that was pretty much it. I just kind of told him the colors that I liked. I like traditional tattooing, I like the big bold lines. He asked for a $60 deposit, which is like a security deposit, like a down payment, whatever, that's the shop minimum. So I was like, alright. I had to use the ATM for that because, of course, like me, I forgot to bring cash for some reason. I got $60 out of the ATM. It did charge me for using the ATM, and then my bank charged me on top of that death. And I knew that was gonna happen, whatever. Because of that, I asked him if he charged by the hour or if he gave flat rates. And I did this in a very respectful manner because I didn't want to be like, hey, how much is this gonna cost me? Not the best thing you want to say to a tattoo artist. So he was like, yeah, I usually charge by the hour for bigger pieces, but for this one, since it's just like, you know, a tattoo, I'll give you a solid number. So he gave me a number, and I brought that in along with a tip on the day that I got tattooed. So from the consultation, we made a tattoo appointment, which was, I think, 2 weeks later. So I did not talk to him from the time of the consultation until the day of my appointment. And that was terrifying. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't see the design before I was going in to get it tattooed on my body. But once he showed me the sketch, I was like, you the man. Amen, you did it. Okay, let's get this on my body ASAP. The placement took a really, really long time. He wasn't really sure because I have this awful stick and poke on the side of my thigh. Don't tattoo yourself. Just don't. Ever. I don't care if you're in high school. I don't care if it looks good in the moment. Don't try to tattoo yourself, okay? Okay, can you promise me that? Can you? Okay. Because of that, we weren't really sure where to place it. I knew that I wanted to keep it on the front of my thigh, so he knew that as well. So he tried different placements. The one that he was like really stoked about was like really super high and basically almost in my crotch, which would have been incredibly uncomfortable to tattoo. So I was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. We finally found a position that worked, and he left a little bit of room underneath it in case I wanted to get my knee tattooed, which I do, so thank you, Bob Hayes. Basically, the entire tattooing process took about 3 hours, I think. It was not the most pleasant, but I do have tattoos on my back and near my spine, actually on my spine, so those definitely hurt a lot more than the one on my thigh. That's just kind of common sense. For the first about 2.5 hours, or maybe like 2 hours, I was totally fine. We did the outline first, obviously, and then we took a break, and then we did the black shading, and then we took a break, and then we finally did the color, which I think actually took the least amount of time, but it was the most painful. It wasn't that bad though. It didn't take that long, whatever. The healing process was a little bit weird for me. I attempted to dry heal my tattoo, which that kind of means different things to different people. Basically for the first, I think 3 or 4 days, I just washed it twice a day, and then I wrapped it when I went to sleep. I was gonna do that for a week, but then by the 3rd day, it was just really painful, and it was like almost cracking, and I was like, no, this is not okay. So I used lotion from Lush, which is all natural and it's vegan, and I mean, it worked like a charm, and it healed my tattoo beautifully. The colors are amazing, and yeah, so I'll probably make another video on my healing method in the future, maybe when I get a different tattoo, so I can actually show you guys how I heal it. The red parts of my tattoo did react a little bit with my skin, which was kind of weird. It just took a little bit longer to heal. They were really dry for a while. They flaked off a lot more than the rest of my tattoo. I don't really know why that is, but they did. But all the other colors were fine. All the outlining was fine. That is my tattoo. That is the process of which. The meaning behind it is a little bit intense. The picture came from my elderly neighbor who lived next door. She passed away, and it was a drawing that someone had drew up after her and her husband had met, which they met when they were like 16, 17, and they were inseparable from that day till he died. So they were like two peas in a pod forever. She told me the story and then showed me the picture, and I was like, I want this kind of a love story. I want to get this tattooed on my body. Like, I knew it as soon as I saw it, but I didn't want to say anything. And then when she passed away, I was actually the one that found her, so that was terrifying and awful and depressing, and I didn't know how to handle it for a really, really long time. And then I remembered the photo that she had given me. So as a memorial to her and kind of her family and stuff like that, I decided to get it tattooed on my body. And it's kind of a reminder to do things that I don't always want to do, because it was really hard going over to see her when me and my dad both knew that her health was declining, but I knew that I had to for some reason. And that specific day that she told me that story, which was actually the last time that I saw her, I really didn't want to go over there. I actually did. My dad walked over there with my dog, and I was like, dang it, I have to go over there. So I went, and she told me the story and gave me the picture, and I'm so glad that I got to have that conversation with her. And yeah, so just kind of remembering her by her life instead of how I saw her last, and also remembering to do things that I might not always want to do, that might not always be comfortable for me, but it could mean so much to someone else. And on the bottom of it, it says, "A love that lasts forever," which was something that my dad always said to my mom when they were dating. He said, "I believe in fairy tales, happy endings, and a love that lasts forever." They've been together for 25 years now, and I just think that it really fit very well with the story behind how they met and how they were together for like 70 years and now my parents, and it's just a reminder to find that. And hopefully I find that. Done with the sappy stuff. That's my tattoo. That was the process. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I can get my next tattoo soon, but I don't have a job because I'm a tattooed woman. That'll be a story for next time. That'll be my next video. I hope to see you guys then. Until next time, goodbye.